Hey guys, just hang in there with me. I've been sick lately, so I'm like, ugh. But I wanted to make sure I was gonna get my video out, so I'm actually filming this Tuesday night. Um, anyways, the month of February, in case those of you who don't know or haven't seen the prior videos, um, it's Black History Month, and so this week it's been decided to talk about someone that we inspire from in Black history. So yeah, and so I decided to choose Bessie Coleman. She was also popularly known as Queen Bess. She was the first African American descent to become a licensed airline pilot, and she was actually the first American of any race or gender to hold an international pilot license. Um, let's see. Well, I'm gonna kind of read off the internet because I can't memorize anything at this particular moment. Let's see, she was born in Atlanta, Texas, the 10th of 13th children to sharecroppers George and Susan Coleman. Her father was part Cherokee. She was actually born January 26, 1892, and she died April 30th, 1926, at the age of 34, and that was in Jacksonville, Florida. She was known for being a pioneer aviator, and um, um, she she realized that in order to make a living as a civilian aviator, because the age of commercial flight was still a decade or more in the future, she would need to become a barnstorming stunt flyer and perform for paying audiences. But to succeed in this highly competitive arena, she would need advanced lessons and a more extensive repertoire. I can't pronounce that. Returning to Chicago, Coleman could find no one willing to teach her, so in February of 1922, she sailed again in Europe. She spent the next 2 months in France, completing an advanced course in aviation, and then left for the Netherlands to meet Anthony Fokker? I don't know how you say that. One of the world's most distinguished aircraft designers. She also traveled to Germany, where she visited the Fokker Corporation. I can't pronounce his last name. I'm sorry. It's Fokker. I don't think I've ever heard of him. I love people that fly. So I'm like, huh? I don't think I've ever heard of him. Anyways, and she received an additional training from one of the company's chief pilots. And she returned to the United States with the confidence and enthusiasm that she needed to launch her career in exhibition flying. Um, in September of 1921, she became a media sensation when she returned to the United States, and Queen Bess, as she was known, was a highly popular draw for the next 5 years, invited to important events and often interviewed by newspapers, and she was admired both by blacks and whites. She primarily flew the Curtiss JN-4, which is the Jenny biplanes, and Army surplus aircraft left over from the war. In Los Angeles, California, she broke her leg and 3 ribs when her plane stalled and crashed on the February 22nd, 1922. She made her first appearance in an American air show on September 3rd, 1922, and I'm going to keep going on, and I'm probably boring y'all. But the thrill of stunt flying and admiration of cheering crowds were only part of Coleman's dream. She never lost sight of her childhood vow to one day amount to something, and as a professional aviator, Coleman would often be criticized by the press for her opportunistic nature and the flamboyant style she brought to her exhibition flying. However, she also quickly gained a reputation as a skilled and daring pilot who would stop at nothing to complete a difficult stunt. Through her media contacts, she was offered a role in a feature-length film titled Shadow and Sunshine, and to be financed by the African American Seminole Film Producing Company. She gladly accepted, hoping the publicity would help to advance her career and provide her with some of the money she needed to establish her own flying school. But upon learning that the first scene in the movie required her to appear in tattered clothes with a walking stick and a pack on her back, she refused to proceed. Clearly, wrote Doris Rich. Bessie's walking off the movie set was a statement of principle. Opportunist though she was about her career, she was never an opportunist about race. She had no intention of perpetuating the derogatory image most whites had of most blacks. I think that's really awesome. Coleman would live long enough to fulfill her greatest dream, establishing a young school, or a school for young black aviators. But her pioneering achievements served as an inspiration for a generation of African American men and women because of Bessie Coleman. I think that she inspired more than just the African American race. But yeah, so yeah, Bessie Coleman. That's who I inspire. I'll insert an image at the end that I found online. So yeah, see y'all guys next week.